What are some of the challenges of invasive ventilation that those of us who are looking ahead to plan need to consider?
I think there are some significant challenges involved with being tracheotomized and no one is immune to them. I think there are certainly challenges associated with breathing loss. When you're tracheotomized, you do lose function. You lose your voice, which is a big part of what makes us unique. You lose autonomy and even the smallest things like controlling your own secretions. Another challenge to a tracheotomy is the actual procedure and recovery from it. Being tracheotomized can certainly be a very traumatizing and painful experience. Aside from that, there are challenges with conflict and guilt for adding more burden to your caregiver and loved ones. I think there is also a real challenge associated with dealing with the daily struggles, anxiety, and in some cases depression that can accompany being tracheotomized. And then there are the logistical challenges with learning how to live and adjust with having a tracheotomy. All of those challenges can contribute to adjustments and more needs for the family and the person with ALS.
When I think of challenges, like I said, I think you really caught us at the beginning of some of the worst challenges to come because we have kind of eased into this lifestyle with a tracheotomy. With him being so independent, it's actually been less of a burden on me as the caregiver because he's chosen to do a lot of self-care still with his tracheotomy. When he went in for the tracheotomy, we actually had a ton of family and friends just saying, we're here to help you, we're coming in. And we actually had to tell him, you know what, not yet. We're okay for right now, which was a good feeling. And I think it helped keep the stress level down, kind of helped our family just, we didn't have to worry about an extra caregiver coming in because it was still so manageable just within our family unit. And so I really felt like we have gently eased into the lifestyle with tracheotomy. So that was, I feel like, a blessing. I think the challenges have really come with just trying to keep up with a pace of life that you want to live, keeping up with 6 kids, still trying to travel, do trips that you want to do.
You mentioned travel, and I think that's important because a lot of people may presume that once you've had a trach, you're immobile. Now you're really confined to your house or your bed, but in fact that's not true. You do a lot of local travel. What about long distance travel? How about airports and airplanes? Is that still possible? And if so, what do I need to know about that? Because I do a lot of travel.
That is a great question. It's a challenge. There's a lot more hoops to jump through. Again, we are a little bit blessed because he can actually detach from the ventilator for short periods of time, and that allows us to transfer chairs a lot easier. So when you're going to airplane, it makes that transition a whole lot easier. Someone who's more further along progressed might have a more difficult time, but you're still dealing with so much uncomfortableness when it comes to people making you move from chair to chair, getting all of the equipment that you have to carry on and off the plane. We've had, unfortunately, a lot of damage come to our equipment from the airlines that we had to work through, and the fear of getting to Florida and our chair doesn't work, what are we going to do? And you have to think ahead and what are your options? Can you go ask for help from in that faraway destination? And so something to think about ahead of time that we kind of went into maybe a little too blind and learned trial by fire. And luckily just kind of made duct tape work or whatever we could do, but it could get serious fast, and you do want to think through that kind of thing when you decide to travel. But I am so glad that we aren't at that phase of just being stuck in bed, because I think it would be very hard to digest emotionally.
Because I still try to be independent. I actually still travel on airplanes by myself. I am still functioning just well enough to be able to handle my own travel. But I also know of many people who are tracheotomized that do travel. While it requires a lot of support, I know it's possible and meaningful.
Your approach to all this is so inspirational, really helpful for me as I move forward with these kinds of decisions. Thank you very, very much.